Hi, boys and girls. Thanks for checking in. I hope you're having a wonderful week at school. I hope all your classes are going great, you're not having any technical difficulties, and that your stress level is very low to zero. That'd be great. I know that this week is the first week back for me, and it's a big transition. And sometimes transitions can be hard, and establishing your routines and making sure you're sticking to them. And one thing that I like to do to unwind and relax and help me with my stress levels is I like to read. And a place that I like to read is actually outside. I don't know if you can hear the insects in the background or the raindrops. It actually just thundered and lightning, and I waited to make this video until it slowed down a little bit. But I love a great thunderstorm. I love a great rainstorm because it gives me an excuse to do nothing but read. So I can read a whole book if the rainstorm's long enough. Maybe you can too. So I love the sunshine, but I don't mind a rainstorm here and there because it gives me a chance to finish my books. Behind me, I have an anchor chart that I'm starting. That's why you only see a couple of lines. I'm going to add to it every day. So when you check back in on your media, Google Classroom, you will see more phrases added to this anchor chart. At the top, you see my last name at the beginning of the word, B-Y-R-N-E, burn, and then isms. That's a made-up word. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Burnisms. So, Miss Byrne, why? Why? You're asking yourself, why did you make that up? Well, Burnisms, what is that? It's a phrase Miss Byrne repeats often. If I was in the classroom with you face to face, you would hear me say a few different phrases. So I figured this would be a great time to explain some of those things that I say over and over and over again, and you'll probably hear me say them even in virtual learning. So one thing that I say all the time, even to my own children, effort is everything. Think about that for a minute. 3 simple words. Effort is everything. What does that mean? Well, effort is how hard you work, right? And everything means if you work hard, that means a lot. So put forth your best effort, something that you can be proud of, and the payoffs will be worth it. Effort is everything. You'll probably hear me say that a lot. I want to tell you some more Burnisms, but I'll wait on that, and because I do want to read you a story. I think this is a great story to begin with. It can be read to kindergartners, and 5th graders like it just as much, if not more. So it's sort of, I think even adults would like it. I think it just spans the gamut there. So the title of it, you may have read it or you may have seen it before. The title of the book is The Day You Begin. And the author is Jacqueline Woodson, and there's an illustrator as well. So the person who drew the pictures, Rafael Lopez. The Day You Begin. Love the colors. Before I start to read this story and show you the pictures, I want you to think about a time that maybe you walked into a room or you were in a situation and there was nobody else like you. There's a lot of different reasons, boys and girls, that you can feel different. Maybe it's how you look, maybe it's how you talk, maybe it's the way you dress, maybe it's where you come from, where you were born. Maybe it's something that you eat and somebody else has never had that before. Whatever it is, it's not easy to take those first steps into a place where nobody knows you, but somehow you find the courage to do that, and that's what this book is about, The Day You Begin. Think about that. Think about a time maybe that you walked into a room or walked into a place and you just felt different. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you. Maybe it will be the color of your skin, or your clothes, or the curl of your hair. I always wanted curly hair. There will be times when no one understands the way words curl from your mouth. The beautiful language of the country you left behind. My name is Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela. And because they don't understand, the classroom will fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone down. I'm looking at Rigoberto's face, and I can tell just by his expression that he feels different. And it's not a good different, it's a not sure different. Not sure how he feels. Maybe he feels anxious or embarrassed. Alone, maybe he feels alone. Rigoberto, from Venezuela, your teacher says so soft and so beautifully that your name and where you've come from, your homeland, sounds just like flowers blooming for the first time, those first big bright notes of a song. Reminds me of spring, when all the flowers come out of the ground and their colors are so vibrant and beautiful and bright. Love that time of the year. There will be times when the words don't come. Your own voice, once huge, now smaller. When the teacher asks, "What did you do last summer?" Tell the class your story. "We went to France," Shayla says. "These shells came from a beach in Maine." A boy named Jonathan holds out a jar filled with tiny shells so fragile they look like they'll turn to dust in your own untraveled hands. "My whole family went to India." "Spain," somebody yells out. "South Carolina." Each souvenir, a small triumph of a journey. Their travels going on and on and on. Again, when I'm reading a book, I like to look at the expressions on the characters' faces. She's looking a little confused or sad maybe. What do you think? Jonathan here though, wow, he looks excited to share his shells. And I'm wondering where she went. Does that look like the Eiffel Tower? Have any of you ever been to the Eiffel Tower? That's in Paris. Miss Burns never been to Paris, but I'd like to go someday. And as you stand in front of that room, you can only remember how the heat waved and it lifted off the curb. Ooh, that sounds hot. Kind of like our summer. And your days spent at home caring for your little sister who made you laugh out loud and hugged you hard at nap time. You can only remember the books you kept on reading long after she had fallen asleep. And in that room where no one else is quite like you, you'll look down at your own empty hands and wonder, what good is this when other students were flying and sailing and going somewhere? I think she's feeling bad because the other students went on trips to some really cool places and she didn't go anywhere. But boys and girls, I'll tell you something. What she has in her hand right there will take you a lot of places. If you read a book from the very beginning to the very end, you can lose yourself, and it's like almost being in another land. So books can take you on adventures, and it's free. There will be times when the lunch your mother packed for you is too strange or too unfamiliar for others to love as you do. Is there a food that you like to eat that you don't know anyone else in the world that would eat it? I'll tell you a secret, boys and girls. When I was a little girl, I used to love macaroni and cheese. I mean, I still love macaroni and cheese, just different now. But when I was little, I would ask my mom if I could put ketchup in my mac and cheese. I know, that sounds disgusting. I don't eat it that way anymore. But I would just take that ketchup bottle and I would squirt it and I would stir it up, and oh, it was delicious. So maybe if I did that in front of other people, they may have thought I was different because they don't eat macaroni and cheese with ketchup. And I think that might be how she's feeling, like she's all alone. Whenever your own friend Naja will wrinkle her nose and say, "What's in there anyway?" and you'll wonder how she doesn't see the rice beneath the meat and the kimchi, you'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. Miss Byrne, it's dark and I'm getting my words confused. Let's go back and do that one again. That's what good readers do anyways, don't they? They go back and they fix it. Let's go back and fix it. Whenever your own friend Naja will wrinkle her nose and say, "What's in there anyway?" and you'll wonder how she doesn't see the rice beneath the meat and kimchi. You'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. That is a true statement. And boys and girls, what I just did is what good readers do. If something doesn't make sense when you get to the end of a sentence, go back, take the time and fix it. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake as long as you fix it. I'm wondering how many of you are thinking you're going to have rice for dinner tonight. I'm thinking rice sounds pretty good right now, especially with some shrimp and vegetables. Yeah, I think I know what I'm having tomorrow night for dinner. There will be times when the climbing bars are way too high. The run is too fast and far. The game isn't one you can ever really play. I don't want him on our team. You can watch. Maybe you can have a turn later. Oh, my heart breaks for this little boy right here because he doesn't feel included, does he? He feels different because maybe he's not ready to climb the bars so high. Maybe he's not very good at running, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't give him a chance, right? Everybody likes to feel included. And I bet he feels very different right now. There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of everybody else. Maybe just observing, maybe just looking with your eyes, not really participating, not getting involved. Feeling kind of alone and different, not sure how to get in there. Again, always look at the expression on the character's face. I don't know if you can see it. Looks kind of sad. Makes me sad when kids are sad. And all that stands beside you is your own brave self. Steady as steel and ready, even though you don't yet know what you're ready for. I see something coming out of the book. You look in the reflection. There's the book. Something beautiful is coming. At least that's how I interpret the story. I haven't read all the way to the end yet. Should I keep going? I used to get so mad when my mom would stop reading and tell me I had to go to bed. I wanted to hear the end of the story, and she'd say, tomorrow. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. I love this smile. My name is Angelina, and I spent my whole summer with my little sister. You tell the class you get brave enough to share. Your voice is stronger than it was just a minute ago. Reading books and telling stories, and even though we were right on our block, it was like we got to go everywhere. Hey, I think I told you that. See? I'm not lying. If the author says that you can go on adventures if you read books, I didn't write this story, so I must be telling the truth. But you have to read the book all the way to the end. Otherwise, the adventure, it's like going on a roller coaster ride and getting halfway up and they stop the ride. That would be no fun. You have to keep reading. You want me to keep reading? I'll keep reading. Your name is like my sister's. Rigoberto says her name is Angelina too. There's that connection. She doesn't feel so different anymore, I bet. And all at once in the room where no one else is quite like you, the world opens itself up a little wider to make some space for you. I'm seeing the frowns turn upside down. Frowns turned upside down are smiles. She's looking a little more confident too. And now I know her name, Angelina. Oh, Rigoberto and Angelina made a connection. This is your day you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books, your travel, and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you and something else so fabulously not quite like you at all. And then there were 3. So, boys and girls, I love this story. I love this story because it has a happy ending. Not all stories have happy endings, but the ones with the happy endings, how can you not love a story with a happy ending, right? It has a happy ending because she went from not feeling included and feeling pretty alone and pretty different to finding something in common with somebody else and making that connection, that human connection. And I think it's great to be unique and to be different, and that's what makes you special. If we were all the same, the world would be pretty boring, right? If we all looked the same, if we all had the same skin color, if we all had the same hair color, if we were all girls or we were all boys, if we all wore pink, I know some people wouldn't like that. My husband wouldn't like that. So I want to know what makes you different. So next time when you tune in, we have a Zoom, I'd love to hear. Boys and girls, there will be a follow-up worksheet for you to complete about this story, and it should be something that you can easily access and finish. If you listen to the story, it should not take you more than 10 minutes. So we're at the 20-minute mark right now. That gives you 10 minutes to work on it and turn it in. So if you don't finish it, you can finish it later, but I'd like to give you 10 minutes to work on that. So I'm going to say bye for now, and next time you log in, another Burnism, and I want to hear what makes you different. All right, have a great rest of your week, and see you next time. Bye.